Good evening and welcome. In the world of motorsport, it doesn't get much bigger than this in terms of venues, more historic or more significant. We're at the Silverstone circuit, the home of the British Formula One Grand Prix. But tonight, we're going to be seeing V8 supercars race around here in the third round of the JINX Super2 series. And here with me, as always, is Dave Douglas himself. Dave, going.
Good evening, Ed. Going well, thanks. Looking forward to this one. Silverstone, so it's a completely different track to where we've just been. Nice and wide, smooth. A lot of opportunity to overtake here. So, yeah, really looking forward.
Yeah, well, of course, this is the new layout of Silverstone as well, which means we've got all the additions that they made to it. So for the Formula One running the full layout here as well, and the former RAF base here converted into a racetrack all the way back. I believe I think it held the first ever World Championship Grand Prix in 1950, and it's hosted certainly many different categories since then. So the drivers are actually just in the process of finishing up their pre-race warm-up. Qualifying is done, and soon we'll be able to show you exactly in which the drivers are going to be lining up for this one. We've seen, of course, Josh Thomas take out the first two rounds. Do you think we're going to see him take it out again tonight, or do you think we're going to see somebody new maybe?
Yeah, it certainly looks quick out there. I was keeping an eye during qualifying session the past hour, actually. And he definitely looks quick. I know he had, I think, about 7/10 of a second over the second place car in there, which was Brady Scott. But yeah, he looks quick. See if anyone's got anything for him tonight, though.
All right. So just before we actually launch off into the race session itself, we've got a couple of minutes here. So we might actually just go over and just make a very quick mention of some of the sponsors that we've got here on board with us here for this series. So, of course, our title sponsor, it is the JINX Super 2 series after all. And JINX Shifters manufacture a range of high quality, affordable sequential shifters, anti-roll bar and brake bias levers designed and manufactured right here in Australia for your sim rig. Of course, we've got Brizzy Racewear as well. They do custom designed gloves and boots for sim racing, karting, custom designed teamwear, custom karting suits, and FIA, CIK level karting suits as well. They've just actually branched out into, and then of course Simfinity. We've got those guys on board with us as well. Australian design, strong and affordable 80/20 sim rigs. And of course, this is a development series, so we've got Virtual Motorsport Mentor on board with us as well. And they're designed to give the sim racers the information to develop themselves as drivers inside and outside of the sim, focused on developing race skills within the simulation of iRacing. So fantastic to have all those guys on board as well.
You can't go racing without him, so great that we've got him on board. Yeah, good to see him supporting the series.
All right. So just before we get into the race server itself, we've been doing it's been a little bit of a popular thing that we've been doing, our track trivia. So this week's one is just about of Silverstone being here at Silverstone, and going to take you back to the British Grand Prix in 1998, won by Michael Schumacher, and he won it in a very unusual way. Question is, what did he do to win the race that was so unusual?
Well, he didn't cheat. That's not unusual. Uh, he didn't knock him off the road, but I'll have a think about it. We're about to get ready for the grid, so I'll let you do that, and I'll get back to you.
Fantastic. Well, we are just about ready to this one. So we're going to see drivers line up now, and it's quite a big field here. So we're going to run through them very, very quickly before we kick off. So we've got James Rewalt starting on pole with Josh Morgan starting alongside him in second. We've got Alex Court, Bailey Bell, Daniel Hedderscheid, Jamie Davis, Tyson McAvoy, Michael Whiting, Chris Barnes, and Wayne Taylor are your top 10. Leslie Leonage, Brody Scott, Tony Gaffer, Darren Caldwell, Chris Kerr, Marty Hanson, Paul Warwick, John Schultz, Mark Duggan, Jason Pedetto, Kai Sloggett, David Coleman, Cameron Veacock, Jonathan Ben, Tim Crowley, Dean Williams, Aaron Gilbert, Adam Neal, Hayden Norris, Scott McCune, Joshua Thomas starting all the way back there in 31st, Simon Chadwick, Robert Dennis, David, and Jack Johnson, I believe, is rounding it.
We've got about 10 seconds until we see the green lights go out here. So get set, everybody. This should be a good race.
Should be a ripper. James Rewalt starting there on pole. He's going to be getting a lot of pressure from behind down in that long run. down to turn 1. So here we go. Lights on. Revs are going to rise any moment now. And we are away. James Ruwop, excellent start there. And who's that coming through from behind? Mustang. That's got an excellent start there. I think that's Daniel Hedderscheid. It is. He's jumped all the way up from on the grid to second position. And they've just got behind them. I think it was Alex Court sitting there in third position. So it's like a fairly clean start so far, Dave.
Yeah, definitely. Good jump from the. Well, there's some tight racing going on here. That's very tight, and with Bailey Bell and Davis going to go through a replay. Quick.
Just before you do that, we've actually got one spun across the track. It's Michael Whiting's actually spun across the entire pack and out to the outside wall.
I'll get half turn out of half spin. Might be able to get a replay of that one, Edward.
Yeah, we've got another one off in the background as well. Chris Barnes involved in that. Crowley involved in that as well. So that's a massive one. It all started Michael Whiting getting sideways right across the front of just about the entire pack.
Yeah, so we got Tim actually green now. Bit of damage. He's got it going again though. So we won't see a safety car here.
Yeah, it looks as though they're going to gather that up at the very least, doesn't it? So just having a look now, last week's runner-up, I believe, James Ruwop, out to a handy little lead, just ahead of Alex Court, Daniel Hedderscheid, with that excellent start that he made right up there into third place. Then Jamie Davis leading a pack of, looks like a couple of teammates he's got back there even. Got Josh Morgan breathing down his neck, actually having a little bit of a look at him down here. It looks as though Morgan's going to get through because Bailey Bell's actually just run. No, not Bailey Bell. I'm sorry. Jamie Davis just run slightly wide there and actually given that position up to Morgan.
Got a massive battle pack here with Darren Cardwell as Penrite car, and we got our car looks like Jonathan Ben's in there. Oh, how long's going to die with the 28 car? No one's up in the background. They didn't all make it through there.
No, they didn't. He looked like he just tried to snatch his brakes and he went right off into the gravel. I'm just going to try and pick up exactly who that is. This car's going everywhere at the moment. So, yeah, there's stuff everywhere. So I think it might have been Hayden Norris actually. Ended up shooting off into the gravel there. So, end of lap 1, James Ruwop, 1.1 second lead over Alex Court. And he is probably the calmest place on the track, way up there in the lead, because there's stuff going on behind them, absolutely massive. Got Laseth Leonage has just had a big lock up and shot off the track himself, up a bunch of positions. So he's going to be struggling to recover from that one as well.
See, the 777 with Simon Chadwick's got two rear boots, so I don't know how the arrow's going to hit. Pretty wide down the straight here. Diving in here, who's that? The Bow Repairs car. He's having a big look up the inside. The 126 of Marty Hansen. he's got it all going on there.
Yeah, it's some close battle packs all over the track. Actually, it's like it's kind of spread out at the front, spread out the rear a bit, and you've just got this fat bit in the middle, just full of loads and loads of cars. It's this big swarm of them all just trying to get after one another. It's almost hard to know where to look. But just having a look a little bit back through the pack at the moment, Joshua Morgan making his way, sort of trying to make his way up through the field, but Paul Warwick's actually just overtaking him, his teammate. And let's not forget, of course, about the winner of our first races, Joshua Thomas. Started way back there in 31st, about the 26 already. And you almost might have thought that given his pace that he's shown so far, he might have made a little bit... and he's actually just been given a black flag, Joshua Thomas. Yeah, so...
Green there, and as you're talking there as well, Alex Court looks like he's dropped back from second back to 5th now.
Right, it's unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunate for Alex there. He looked in a very, very strong position, but obviously plenty of time for him to try and get that back together, but he's made it a little bit hard to run himself down.
Josh has got the red mist depending on him. He's just riding them curves. He's massive 2 wheels in that last turn, punch straight. He's obviously got the message now, so he's going to have to push on hard here.
Okay, so just to update you as well that Josh Thomas has actually had those black flags cleared, and the black flag has actually been applied to Dean Williams. So it looks like there may have been just a case of perhaps mistaken identity there, but Joshua Thomas is continuing on his merry way.
Beautiful. Happy with that, I'd say. He's probably sort of sitting there questioning what happened. So obviously, best control's sorted out now, which is a good result.
Definitely. So James Rewalt's out to a 3.2-second lead at the moment. And I've just seen him just snatch his brake a little bit as well. He's not going to want to do too much of that. He certainly has to manage everything in order to keep that car running exactly as he wants it to do and manage it over the distance race. It's only 18 laps, this one. It is quite a long lap here.
Yeah, it's a grip track too, I think. I was doing a bit of a practice here earlier the weekend, and it's nice and wide, a bit low grip, but yeah, it's a real driver's track. This, as I said, pre-races, a lot of opportunity to make passes here, and some guys that are doing it is Cameron Veacock, who's up 13 position, and Paul Reich is up spots into 7th.
And you've got to remember as well, don't you, that this track, especially through the Beckett section, that really fast Beckett section, actually has a lot of highly loaded corners where the cars are all changing direction. And V8 supercars in particular don't really respond too well to that. They don't like to be swapped from one side to the other to the other. So it's a real challenge for a lot of guys to manage that and do everything they have to do to actually make that happen, shift the weight of the car properly in order to get them to handle through bends like that, which are really designed for Formula One cars, motorbikes, and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. We've actually got Cameron Veacock on screen at the moment. He's all over Paul Reich now for that 9th position. Riding on board with him, and going to be looking to get the pass done in the next couple of corners, I'd say.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think Paul Warwick may have just had a slowdown. He was going very, very slowly for a bit of a period there down what I believe was hanger straight at the time, and let a few people go. But now he's back up to pace, so I believe that he may have just had to slow down to serve a iRacing adjudged penalty if he cut the course a little bit or something like that. So either way, he's back on his way now, and seems to have even been able to just extend that little bit over Cameron Veacock as well.
Yeah, definitely. I believe he was in 7th, so he definitely dropped. Another battle we got going on here is Marty Hans's Jason Beto. Look at the inside of that time. But so, continue to pressure him, and he's got pressure from Jonathan Ben now. So I've got a little healthy battle going on here as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like Jonathan Ben had a great run last time out, didn't he? I believe he was certainly on the podium. I think he may have even came home in 3rd place. So
Yeah,
he's
that's correct.
yeah, he's all over the back of De Potato now. Like he's just he had a look, didn't he? And
yeah, hard to do that. Very hard to do that. Oh,
yeah,
something
but
wrong with that.
28's actually been pressured into a little bit of a mistake there, run wide just slightly. Going to give Ben the opportunity to just perhaps get a bit of overlap, but he hasn't done it. He slots in behind him to get through Beckett's and everything. There really is only one line through there. And unless you can get right up alongside somebody, it is one at a time.
Yeah, that's right. You get in fairly deep in there, but yeah, almost someone's going to end up off the track.
Right, so I'm just having a look through the field. It looks as though quite a lot of the cars have started to spread out a little bit. But we've still got Alex Court. Remember, he was up in 2nd place earlier on and made a little bit of a mistake. Fell back to around about 5th position where he remains at the moment. But he's kind of working away on the back of Bailey Bell. He's got Brodie Scott in there behind him. And in turn, there's yet another car in there behind him, Kai Sloggett, who are keeping up quite well. So that's probably, at the moment, I believe, the closest battle on the track. Court putting a lot of pressure on the back of Bell through certain phases of the corner. But Bell seems to be firing out of the turns quite well. And Court's actually tried to match that. Has actually gotten the throttle a little bit hard, got a little bit sideways, and now is finding himself with a mirror full of Brodie Scott that he did not have to deal with.
Gonna have to go defensive here. Brodie's got on the outside. Might be able to get the cut back to swing through underneath him here if he goes too deep. Alex is Brodie just got in there too hot, actually. Lost a bit of time there.
Yeah, well, either way. So as you were for the moment, just a bit of time loss there for Alex. So he's not going to want to make too many more mistakes today. He doesn't want to drop any positions. So obviously try and move back forward to where he believes he should be. But anyway, just having a look there, Daniel Hederscheid. Now, let's not forget that he actually qualified in 5th position. Made an awesome start to get up there into 2nd place, lost it to Alex Court, and then when Alex has made his mistake, he's managed to get back up there past him. Now he's sitting there with quite a, I guess, a relatively comfortable out over Jamie Davis behind him, around about a second. And he looks good for that. I mean, qualified P5, but he looks very, very comfortable and worthy of the second place he's running in at the moment.
Yeah, certainly, definitely. Good stuff for both those guys. Heddershot and Davis. They've jumped up 3 spots from their grid position. Those guys have made the most of what happened at the start there, and we're working lap 5 now, about to start lap 6, so too far away from some stops. It's only an 18-lap race or so.
Yeah, certainly. So they do have to make a pit stop in this race. So it really depends on when the driver elects to take it. There's obviously a few other strategic considerations that come into that, but the drivers are well aware of that requirement. And we certainly haven't seen too many of the top drivers look to run down pit lane as yet. By top drivers, I mean the guys running in the top position. But certainly, it may even be a bit of a strategy call for someone a little bit further behind. Maybe try and pull themselves out of traffic.
Big guy comes into the pits right now from, I'm not sure what he's in, but he's hard. He's going to go for it.
All right, so it's as though he has blinked first, Jonathan Ben. So he's just in the lane at the moment and just taking his. So we'll see where it comes out. We're not really going to learn too much when he comes out of the pits originally. We're going to need to wait until some of the guys who are running around him on track actually make that stop as well to see if he's made a net gain or a net loss out of picking. So we're just getting word through. It looks like as though Marty Hansen might have had a little bit of an issue as well. I'm just sort of trying to find him on track, but it looks as though he may have at least had a. Yeah, he did. He had a spin. Had a spin while in there behind. Was he behind Darren Caldwell?
Yeah, just locked the rears
And
up there. It's too hot, yeah.
yeah, just locked the rears up, spun around, quickly chucks it. Good actually. Thinking there to quickly just chuck her in reverse, get her out the way of everyone else, don't get T-boned, and get back on the track and get after it.
A good presence of mind. Grab that reverse gear there. Get the road. There was a few cars coming through there, so I would have scattered the field, but he's done the right thing there. And
all right, and Jonathan Ben's actually looped it on his first lap out of the pits. He's obviously come out on the old cold tyres. Larry Perkins made a quote about a young bloke on cold tyres, and I'm not going to repeat here, but he's obviously just come around the corner, made that mistake, and regained it. And then out of the next corner, he's looped it again, sort of half spun it. So 2 half spins, not what he wanted together.
no, definitely not. So up against it now to try and make any of that time back. You can give it a good crack. Quick last week, so I'm sure we can recover some places, but yeah, not the night that he's going to win.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest. If he can do it on cold tyres, then it's highly possible that other people are going to make that mistake as well. It's certainly something that's very, very easy to do. And he's, hopefully for their sake, not. But it may help to equalise things a little bit, Jonathan, if somebody else does fall afoul of the cold tyres.
Yeah, certainly. Looking at Davis at the moment. Got to move up into the second, actually. So he's moved from third up to second on Daniel Heddershield. So we're even going to go to a replay for that. Yep, we're going to go to a replay. Have a look here. So got a good run out back straight there. So defensive there out in front. Davis is going to go around the outside, last of the late breakers, and right around the outside. A lovely move there. Gets himself into second position.
Unfortunately, guys, just while you're watching that replay, Heddershot has just gone flying down the inside again into what used to be the first corner, and he's run wide on the exit, letting Davis back through. So a very serve and return serve from those two coming through, but it is as you were. So with Jamie Davis leading Heddershot now. So the nice little exchange there from those two. No contact made, clean as always.
That was actually a impressive little move around there. So then he just breaks him later and was able to hold on around that outside, gave him the inside for the next. Go back to Aaron Gilbert. We're getting a screen at the moment. He's chasing down the 77 of moment. So pressure on, he's gone in there very deep. Got it squirrely on the brakes. He's on the inside. Gonna be on the outside if he can get the drive out here. He's right now. Can he get the switch back here, Gilbert?
I'm just impressed he got it turned at all.
Yeah, he's had a half a switch. Look up the inside, riding on board for as you were. As um, gonna have another look up here. Want to get it real uptight here. Not much you can do through these two turns, but then here there's a braking area where you can pass. On defensive, you have an under move here.
Yeah, Scott McHugh just snatching a bit of a break there too.
Break there, and it's back down to first gear or second. Driver preference. Get a drive out here. We've got a wheel spin on the exit there. So Gilbert's going to have a big look down here, I'd imagine. Riding on board with Gilbert at the moment.
He's lining him up, isn't he? Going out to the left. It looks as though McCune probably hasn't covered that well as he might have done. He may have decided that perhaps it'd be better if he lets that one go. He certainly didn't bite Aaron Gilbert much at that stage. So he's actually carrying a little bit of that front end damage around as well. So that could be affecting the turn in on that car. We did see the way in which he did snatch a break earlier on. So perhaps he's decided to maybe give that one up and just focus on getting some lap pace back.
Yeah, definitely. You can only fight so much. Guy behind's got that bit of you. And there's no issue in having a fight, but yeah, if he's going to pass you, you're better off just getting on with your own race. Let yeah, concentrating on your race and out of it.
All right, so back to the front. We've had a few pit stops cycle through, but not all of them by any means. James Rewalt, he's got a 6-second lead over Jamie Davis at the moment, so driving impeccably up front there, not putting a wheel wrong since pretty much the start of this race. He's just had it all under control. And Jamie Davis he's edged out a little way on Daniel Hederscheid, but he's only just got that gap out to a second. Certainly very, very competitive on pace, those two cars. And just having a look through, David Coleman's just coming into the pit at the moment. He's brought the Fishy Motorsports Commodore down into pit lane, and he was sort of rolling just inside the top 10 there. So we'll see exactly how far this drops him down the order, this pit stop. The cars behind him are very closely packed. So I'm guessing it's going to be a few.
Yeah, you can see him dive into the back of the shot before. I think he's gone in with a couple of others. I think Tyson McAvoy's in there with Brody Scott as well, which have service now. They're out that now. So see how they go. Remembering cold tyres, hard to get the speed up, but yeah, give it about a lap and they'll be back to normal speed.
Yeah, and Alex Court's has made his pit stop, I'm sorry, and has dropped all the way down to 22nd position. And Brody Scott actually has just come out of the pits on cold tyres and looped it. Done exactly what happened to Jonathan Ben earlier on, and kept the foot in it, spun it all the way around. He's heated up those rear tyres now. It looks like he was almost about to do the exact same as Jonathan Ben. Looks like he's come around. He's seen Court in front of him, tried to get on the power as much as he could, because remember, he was in a bit of a battle with Court on, and spun that one around, and that has pretty much, at least for the time being, decided that particular.
No damage, just a lot of time lost, so he's going to pull first gear and get it going again. Thanks for dripping paint graphics for the replays tonight. Every other of the JINX Super2 series.
Yeah, and of course, all the on-screen artwork that you're seeing as well, brought to us by Worm Paints. So they've done a fantastic turn for this.
Got big clock actor. Where is he sitting? 7th, up 6. Much forward. He was having a good run last week, as a matter of fact, and I quizzed him after the race to see what it was, and yeah, he definitely had a hardware fail. Whoa, we've got a massive dive on this. He was at the 79 of Laz. Laz has had a big dive on McCoon, and McCoon goes in the pit, so yeah, you can have that spot on going anyway. So
yeah, I'm out of here. Yeah, so Lassif keeps on track, keeps going around for another lap. As we mentioned, a few of those guys heading down now, so we're seeing quite a few pit stops taking place, and the field's sort of starting to sort itself out, so we get a bit better an idea about where everyone's sitting at present.
Yeah, got a fair few in the pits by the looks of it, actually. So
yeah, Mark Duggan's in.
Fine by the looks of it. Everyone's in. We've got one and one. Got 8 cars in there at the moment.
Yeah, I'm seeing Duggan, Teddo, Gilbert, Chadwick, McCune.
Pablo Kerr's in there. There's a few, yeah, definitely. So that's all obviously with those guys taking their service, moved Alex up in ninth, Marty Hanson 7th there. So a few of those guys are coming through after their pit stop. So
Hopefully, we don't see any more little spins out on cold tyres. Although, as easy as it looks to do, I'm sure that we might definitely, but certainly no problems at the front of the field. James Rewalt got that lead out to 6.2 seconds now over Jamie Davis, and they're just sort of stroking away out the front of the field, aren't they? You know, they're just unbothered. There isn't any damage on the cars. Everything's completely perfect as far as they're looking. Jamie Davis just coming up on the back of Chris Barnes. I'll say coming up on the back of this before he gets that done. But Jamie Davis in the pits, and he's got Heddershide right on his hammer on the way into pit lane there. So they're both really just struggling to get the cars down to that pit road speed limit. And they're both got to come into the lane. And Ruwalt's in the lane as well, our race leader.
yeah, so Ruwalt's dived in for him there, and big battle going on here with Caldwell and Coleman positions here coming into the Maggots and Beckett section, and we've got the 411 of Tony Gaffer in behind them too. He's looking to get in this battle. Got to try and get it slowed down through here. You've got the right hand and then back onto the left and try and get a good run onto this the hanger straight, I believe they call it. So it looks like Tony Gaffer's got that. Now look to his outside.
Just while you're watching that, I'm just doing my best to try and keep an eye on the pit stops. Ruwalt away, as you'd expect, in lead. Josh Morgan's come in the pit lane as well, but Heddershide has actually jumped. Heddershide has got out ahead Davis, so a change for second place there in the pits. And Davis, who made that move earlier on Heddershide, he's going to have to get it all done again.
Yeah, we can see that now. It's coming out of the pit. So the pit lane's a bit lower, so it's just popped up, and yeah, he's made the jump, and it's very tight. So cold tyres, a bit of pressure. Alex Court's not too far behind his guys on warm tyres, mind you. So he's going to try and have a push here and see if he can shake the feather tails of these guys ahead.
Yeah, look how hard he's pushing as well. He knows it as well. He knows it's on the warm tyres. He knows the cars in front are on cold tyres, and now is his time to pounce. Now's his best chance to get that second place back. So he's going to be absolutely on fire. We saw him lock the brakes up and dive in there. Speaking of diving in there, Jamie Davis all over the back of Heddershide there. He's going to be annoyed that he's lost that second place in the pits after doing everything on track to actually get past him. And as with last week, got an absolute cracking battle on for P2.
Yes, certainly. So I'd say there's just a bit of a fuel difference in those stops. That's he's jumped in because it's about the same, but the fuel drop that.
But a few of these guys just sort of playing it a bit fast and loose with the track limits as well. See a few guys just putting all four wheels off, so I'm not sure if that's something that iRacing will sort of judge to be a problem. But Jamie Davis has fallen off the back of Heddershide now and is really looking as though Alex Court is going to be spoiling for an overtake here pretty soon. Court able to hold it a lot tighter around the previous turn, lining him up. How many times have we seen this move tonight? Lining him up. Davis stays. Davis stays
short side.
Court shoves it down there anyway. And late breaks in there. They both lock their wheels, both run a little bit wide.
Get the pass made though for now.
Yeah, the pass is made. But yeah, I thought they were both headed out for the weeds for a second, but they've got it done. Court now just holding it nice and defensive into the next turn. You're not coming back down there, Jamie. And will hopefully, from his point of view at the very least, use his warmed up tyres, nice warmed up tyres, to actually put the power down and just draw away and hopefully back up onto.
Yeah, it was a great move from Alex there. He's obviously evident, but well, Davis will get back up to speed here, and I'd imagine he's going to put the pressure right back on Alex. A couple of laps times towards the end of the race here. It's not over yet.
Yeah, he's been quick all night, hasn't he? And you can see the way that he's just playing with the lines there, isn't he? He's just taking the wide entry, trying to get on the power as early as he possibly can, trying to just around and do what Alex Court's not doing. And so, you know, now we can see that now that his tyres are up to temperature, he's actually starting to move back up onto the back of Court. And now he's on very freshly warmed up rubber, and he's going to be able to potentially have a look at taking that back.
Hey, John, for we're looking at Simon Chadwick at the moment. So he's having a bit of a battle here with Cadwell. And who's in front of me? Tony Gaffer, who got that spot. Simon goes for a big dive, is it? Oh, he's locked the rears. He's going to hold on to it. That's a big slide. He's right out sideways. And he holds on to it. He's got away with it.
Yeah, certainly. And sorry to cut you off, but the battle for second is third place, way back on again. Alex
Oh,
Court
good.
just swooping across the front of Jamie Davis, who's made a huge amount of time to actually catch him back up. And of course, you've got to remember, neither of these guys, both of these guys were running up in second place earlier on. Neither of them wants to be fighting over third. They want to be getting back up to second place. And Bailey Bell in there behind,
Yeah.
joining this battle now as well. Court goes defensive. He
Wow, very
fires it down
defensive.
the inside there, and you just try. It's always a balancing act, trying to be defensive but not put yourself far offline. He's paid the
Yeah.
price a little bit for his tight turn in there, hasn't he? Because he's got Davis all over the back of him to the outside, trying to open the radius of that corner up just as much as he possibly can. Court doing everything he can just to make sure that Davis can't get a run, but Davis has done really well. Looks like he's going to get his nose to the inside there. They're going to touch. No, they haven't. And Court's going to hang on.
Bailey Bell. Gonna have a little sniff here. He's in
There's a
this.
block.
Oh, and
They touched.
They've dual banged each other. They've got away with it somehow.
Jamie Davis and Bailey Bell. Let's not forget teammates, these two as well. Just getting into each other. I'm sure their team radio chat's going off the dial at the moment. That's just allowed Alex Court to
Oh,
away.
another touch. He's giving him another touch here on the exit, so he's going to have another look here. But there's no love lost here between these two guys.
No, certainly not. I don't think the team boss is going to be overly thrilled with what's going on, but hey, it's a great show for us. So Jamie Davis now fighting off his teammate Bailey Bell. Court skipping away. Heddershire thinks all his Christmas has come at once. He's skipping away. And but these two are going at it hammer and tongs for what is now P4.
Rangers just looks like he's got a lot of rear lock going on. Bit of force adjustment, we'll see. And we've got one around. We've got Cadwell around. Replay for you guys down the inside, and just too deep. Look to go back up the inside of Gaffer and makes contact with Gaffer around there. And stalls it.
Now he's got a bit of a recovery drive to make, doesn't he? Unfortunately. So yeah, bad luck for him. But just it looks as though this battle for third place has sort of settled down a little bit. Jamie Davis just pulling away a little bit from Bell. Although, as I say that, he makes a bit of a mistake and Bell catches right back up. But you'd imagine that if these guys can get back on the back of Court, it might serve them quite well to actually maybe, I don't know, try to work as a team to get this done. But we'll see what happens.
You've got Alex Court sitting there just smiling, watching them two fight in the rear vision mirror as he's driving off into the distance. But as you said, to put their heads down, they can drive back up, and hopefully we get a big battle for second.
I mean, speaking of driving off into the distance, James Rewalt's out there in front at the moment. 6.9 seconds his lead sits at the moment. So he's, actually, as I speak, he's just pulled it out to 7.4. So, but enough of that. Jamie Davis right up onto the back of Alex Court again. And looks like we're going to get round two here.
Beautiful. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're paying to see.
Going to look for the switchback here. A deep Court, so he's going to get it here, but he'll have the very tight. He's going to get
He's
his
got to
speed
park it up.
right
He's
down.
got to park it up on the air. He doesn't actually park it up as much as he should have done, maybe.
Side by side through the kink here. Be another case of last of the late breakers.
It's a drag race.
Hold on, you get the inside of next. Hey. Oh, he's gone in there deep. He's gone for a switchback, Alex. And again, you can look for the switch. He's done well to hold it there, Davis. He's parked up and he can't get the run back under. Could get better drive out of there.
Done exactly what he needed to do, hasn't he, Davis? But Court you see him just sort of jink the steering wheel to try and keep in the slipstream of the car in front. He's looking definitely at making a run. He's not going to give it up, is he? And he's tagged him. He's tagged him going into, going into, I believe that's, is that Cops? And coming up now into Beckett's. He's just backed off a little way and surely not wanting to draw the ire of race control by getting too violent with him. But certainly wants to take back that P3. He doesn't want to finish off the podium today.
No, definitely not. And that Davis car's got a bit of damage on the inside, so it's had a beaten, which is what we like to see. As long as we don't see sideways and around, we don't mind a bit of door banging.
I certainly don't. Certainly don't. But looks as though Davis has just put a bit of a gap on Court now. Although Court's really, really strong on the entries to certain corners. He's gaining about a car length on a lot of the entries, and it's more than just the concertina effect, but just as a result of how hard he's tipping it in there, his exits aren't necessarily as good as they might be, and that's allowed Bailey Bell right up onto the back of Court.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed of how long held on here because he did stop quite early compared to the guys that have been battling at the moment. Bailey Bell's going to have a big step here on this lap, but back and look at Wayne Taylor who's having a battle there for 17th. Got Aaron Gilbert in front of him and Marty Hanson at the moment, reaching in front of them.
Yeah, they got Jason DiBitetto just in front there as well. So there's a little bit of a fight back here for some of the more minor positions, and just keeping an eye on some of the drivers. We saw Jonathan Ben earlier on have those couple of half spins, sat down there in 22nd at the moment. So probably with his pace, he'd want to be further forward than that. But of course, still recovering from him that he's not further up. But I'm sure he'll definitely try to use the remaining couple of laps of this race to make it.
I'm sure he will. And we can battle as we switch to the battle with Alex Court because we've got Bailey Bell on the back of him again. So might present an opportunity down into turn 3. Oh no, sorry, the wrong part of the circuit. It's the old circuit, old turn 1. Beckett to Maggots. Straight.
I think Court's going to be tired of seeing CGU cars in his mirror.
Well, he's doing a good job of whatever he's doing. He's holding on. Really good job at the moment. Hold on, as I said, he's on a lot of older tyres around him. We know Barry Belly's always been fast, so he's luck, but
staying defensive here, hasn't he, Alex Court?
Certainly.
So running that sort of shallow entry there, which is going to cost him speed. It's going to cost him speed, and that is demonstrated as Bill manages to just take a couple of car lengths out of him through.
Lap 16 of 18 here, so we're not too far away from Beckett's. 3 laps to go. Yeah, certainly not over here for third place. Yeah, this third place, isn't it? Oh, fourth.
Yeah, fourth, they're fighting over it. Jamie Davis is cleared out in third, and Hedderscheid is looking pretty satisfied there in second place. I don't think he's going to catch Rewalt, but he'll be looking to keep Davis behind. Their last laps, though, Jamie Davis 2:07 and Hedderscheid 2:03.579. So Davis a little bit faster, but I think it might be a little late.
Yeah, I think so. Rewalt's got this one stone up if he doesn't make any mistakes. He's had a great drop tonight, and that car looks pristine out front. He's done very well and taking advantage of some trouble of the other guys. Look to try and notch up his first win in the series.
Right, so where is he now? Just starting, I believe. Starting his lap 6. No, sorry, that's got me confused again. It is the odd start finish straight he was on. I was thinking he was about to tick over another lap, but he hasn't.
Yeah, speaking of the odds, has got through on court here. We're going to go to a replay. Yeah, we got. Right there, must have run lost the vision on mine, but I'm sure you guys are seeing it. Bailey Bell makes that pass on Alex Court to take fourth position. Thought I knew it was going to happen. A matter of when, I guess, but Alex has done a great job to fight the way he has tonight.
That's not over. Alex is looking at him. It's Bailey Bell just this time is the one holding defensive.
Got it back on screen here, guys.
yeah. Caught looking to run around the outside. Didn't quite get it done. Bailey Bell, nice and calm there. Just holding the inside as he needs to. But he's caught setting it down there.
Oh, gee, that's tight in there.
It's tight, isn't it? And he's having a look at the back of him. Meanwhile, Brodie Scott's coming under a lot of pressure from Josh Morgan as well. So there's, as has been the case for the last couple of weeks, there's little battles going on up and down this track, right up until the end of the race.
Right, because last week we had it played to the flag, so have the same.
Oh, Alex Court has smacked into the back of
They've
Bailey
got away
Bell.
with it. They've both resumed.
They both got away with it. Yeah, I think the court sort of allowed that to redress. And in the background, Brodie Scott turned around by Josh Morgan. And I think that Morgan's probably going to let him go and redress that one as well. But it looks as though Morgan now is going to lose spots to McAvoy. He's lost spots to Warwick as well. It looks as though Warwick is potentially going to be able to have a look at Brodie Scott. He is. He's got the run. Going to get that done. He is. He is. I think Brody Scott's just back out of that one. And yeah, not sure if race control's going as in those were addressed because there weren't really any changes in position. The drivers were quite mature about that. But in any case, it certainly resulted in a change.
Yeah, definitely. See what happens there. As on the replay, you see Alex got too deep and just nailed battling to get up in front of him. Davis, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so he just nailed him on the brakes, turned him around. Both got going. Oh, Bailey Bell, got him going, and then yeah, as you saw right in the background there, you could see the car getting turned around. Race control's going to keep an eye on that. They'll do their job and do their part, and yeah, hand down the penalties if need be. But Rewalt's about to come up to start his final lap. He's not laps. He's just lapping some cars actually. He's not too.
Yeah. And look at one of the cars he's just lapped, Josh Thomas,
Yeah,
who's
no,
sat there in
unreal.
29th position. He's had a horrible night, hasn't he?
That's for sure.
All right. Well, James Rewalt starts now his final lap, lap 18. And he's driven superbly, as we say, almost without fault. We've seen a couple of snatch breaks, but that's about all. And done absolutely fantastic job. So all he has to do now is coast at home. Got nearly an 8-second lead over Daniel Hederscheid behind, who's had a great race in. But I don't think we're going to see too much change there. Rewalt's a very capable, very safe driver, and I don't believe see him whatsoever. Although I don't want to put the knockers on him, so we will say if he gets at home, he's going to be a very happy driver indeed.
Yeah, well, he's definitely been working to it. So we saw in Canada that he was strong and hanging on to a podium position there until the late race incident. Then last week at Sebring, he come home second for a syndicate guys there in the URAP Mustang, and looks like go one better this week.
Yeah, there's a fantastic battle going on as well between McAvoy, Scott, Warwick, and Morgan. We're all running in a line now, just trying to make up the positions. I don't want to distract from James Rewalt's moment, but yeah, these guys going absolutely hammer and tongs.
Take back to that after and see how the race goes to the flag. But we got Rewalt about to come out of Maggots and on back straight of the hanger straight. Oh, we got a dive here from Brody Scott on Tyson McAvoy. Old turn 1 section, is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, true. Yep. And they're going side. They've got to go side by side. We did say before it was only one at a time. They've managed to sort themselves out. Have they?
Got it too deep.
Well, Paul was not the first Warwick to take that complex at speed. But James Rewalt coming across the line to take a well-deserved. He'll come across the line in just a moment. Comes around the last corner, flash of the lights, and he's going to take that victory for Pace Syndicates. Excellent drive from him.
Well done to James there. He's as I said, it had it coming, but the battle is still on back here with Tyson. He's locked the rears. Radio Scott's going to have a little look. The Fish East Motorsports cars behind him are having a little battle themselves, but bit of a status quo there. But give us a bit of entertainment. That's what we like.
Fishy boys don't mind beating on each other either, do they?
No, definitely not. We've seen it in the past. Good racing there. Like there from us.
All right. So as the field just makes its way around the last lap and across the line, we're going to have some race results here very shortly. We're just waiting on some of the other cars to make their way through. Some of the guys now, we've got Mark Duggan, he's coming across the position. Jonathan Ben, he's running down there in 20. I think he's made up a couple of spots lap potentially, but we'll go through full race results in just a moment.
Great result for James. His victory donuts there. Just that car is looking pristine. Not a scratch on it today.
Not a mark on it, just like I bought one. But anyway, so we're just going to go through our full race results before drivers up here some interviews. So of course, James Rewalt, as we mentioned, taking place. Daniel Hederscheid, very solid drive to second position. Jamie Davis in third after that huge battle. He certainly had a lot in his plate tonight, didn't he? Bailey Bell coming home a well-deserved fourth. Alex Court, fifth in the end after all of that. Tyson McAvoy won that battle with Brody Scott, Paul Warwick, and Josh Morgan, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Cameron Veacock there in 10th. Chris Kerr, we didn't talk too much about him tonight, but he'd come home in a very solid and impressive 11th position. Then you got David Coleman, Simon Chadwick, Tony Gaffer, and Jason DiPotetto. That is all the way to 15th. Got Wayne Taylor 16th. Marty Hansen, he's there in 17th. Aaron Gilbert 18th. Darren Caldwell 19th. Mark Duggan in 20th. Jonathan Ben got up to 21st at the end. Hayden Norris 22nd. John Schultz in 23rd. Laseth Leonage comes home in Scott McCune. We saw a bit of him tonight, didn't we? 25th. Michael Whiting after that big off at the very start, 26th. Tim Crowley, 27th. That rounds out your cars on the lead lap. Then we've got the cars finishing one lap down, unbelievably. Undefeated going into tonight, Joshua 28th and one lap down. Dean Williams also one lap down in 29th. Kai Sloggett one lap down in 30th. Chris Barnes and Adam Neal rounding out the race finish there, and both of those guys 2 down conclusion. So another good race tonight there, Dave. It's turning into quite a series.
Yeah, definitely another enjoyable race. Yeah, not too sure what happened to Josh Thomas series. He must have had it, I think, carried over from last week. I think so, rid a bit. But then, yeah, obviously the race just got away from him. Field, they ended up that lap down. So that's a big cross, I guess, against his name for this round anyway.
Yeah, I guess you understand why drivers put so much effort into their and everything else, because it shows what can happen even to a very fast driver when they start down the back. So, yeah, not a good night for Thomas, but either way, it's good to see somebody else in victory lane. Little bit, I don't want to see the same guy winning every week. I'm sure Josh does, but certainly for the spectators and so on, it's great to see somebody new up there in victory lane. So tonight, that individual James Ruwatt's done a fantastic job. And I guess we're just waiting now for some of these drivers to make themselves available, and we can come in and have a chat to them and see how their race went.
Yep, no worries. We'll look at that post race.
Yes, a couple of movers and shakers. We got in that field was Cameron Beacock up 13 spots in the 10th. Paul Warwick up 9 spots in the 8th. Probably the biggest loser, unfortunately, is Michael Whiting of Motorsports. Dropped 50.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, let's not overlook Simon Chadwick either. Came from 32nd on the grid to 13th in the.
Yeah, that is a big move, actually. Biggest move of the race. With
Right, so just while we wait for a few of these guys to come in, we may actually answer our track trivia question.
Yeah.
So, question was Michael Schumacher, 1998 British Grand Prix, won the race in a very unusual way. How did he do it? Well, he actually won the race in the pit lane.
All that, actually, I think I remember it.
Yeah, it's been fairly well talked about over the years. So the basic premise is that he was adjudged to have committed some infringement out on track, which they've elected to give a penalty for, and he had 3 laps to serve it, and just so happened that the penalty was given 3 laps before the race. So Michael's actually pitted on the last lap, and rather than cross the line under the checkered flag, driven right through the pit lane, and his pit bay was after the start finish line. So he's actually crossed the start finish line prior to getting in there. So I'm not sure of the technical way that the rules work, but he was, after a little bit of consternation and confusion, of which motorsport officials usually do a tip-top job. He was actually adjudged to be the winner of the race. So yeah, that's our little piece of track trivia tonight. Bit of an unusual finish that particular Grand Prix, and certainly the only time that I've ever seen anyone win a race in the pit.
Yeah, no, that's I never. When I say I remember it, I don't remember seeing it, but definitely heard being talked about. Yeah, that's an interesting one. One for this weekend.
All right, so we've got in the green room just waiting down there patiently for a bit of a chat. Haven't got our winner in just yet, but we might just start with our third place, Jamie Davis. In fact, our winner has just popped in, so we'll have a chat. We'll have a chat to James Rewalt first. Dave, I'll let you do the honours.
James, Dave from Shim Shed Broadcasting, mate. First win in the JINX Super 2 series, mate. How's it feel?
Just tell him no further action. Okay.
Austin.
David, I'll pass that on.
Okay.
Cheers, Tim.
James, you got us. No, he's technical issues. I love
It's
it.
okay. Something's going strange. So, all right, what we might do is we might grab Jamie Davis in first, and then we'll see if we can have a bit of a chat to him later on. So, Jamie Davis here in third position. Dave?
Amy, how are you, mate?
Now I can breathe after that one.
Yeah, you certainly bit there, mate. Had a great battle throughout most of that race. Third place. Talk us through it.
Yeah, no, it was chaos right from the get go. Yeah, through 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think my teammate Bailey. Yeah, lost count how many times we hit each other, but yeah, then I seen a massive crash in my mirror and thought I head down and go for it, and had a good battle with Daniel, and then after the pit stop, it was just awesome.
Yeah, it looked on some good entertainment for us here in the booth. Yeah, that was a great race. There was a lot of contact between each other in Discord or on the radio at all.
He likes to mute himself during the race, but yeah, no, we had a little chuckle afterward. As long as we didn't, ruin each other's race, it's all.
No, well, that's it. That's what the bumpers are for. Each other. Before I let you go, any shout outs, any sponsors call out to?
Yeah, I'd love to shout out to our brand new sponsor, Dripping Graphics Paint, or Dripping Paint Graphics. Welcome aboard. Hope we put on a good show for you. And yeah, the team at PSR, Timmy, everybody. Yeah, and all my family and friends watching. How you going?
Perfect. There you have it. Your third place get it. Amy Davis.
Thanks.
All right, so we might call up Daniel Hedderscheid next, have a bit of a chat with him. He had a reasonable, what looked like a comparatively, compared to what was going on behind him, safe run through. Certainly didn't have it all his own way. So, Daniel Hedderscheid, well done on second place. And maybe start just by talking us through the race as you saw it.
Yeah, well, I was really lucky to get probably the best start I think I've had since playing iRacing. And then the first probably 5 laps, I was just battling nerves to try and calm myself down before I made a mistake. And then it just sort of came to me, consistent. Probably wasn't the fastest out there, but I'm happy with that.
So we saw you have a few fights during the course of the race before, sort of towards, I guess, the second half. You were able to extend out and just stay clear of the chaos that was going on behind you. But how did you enjoy those little battles that you had along the way? How'd you see?
Yeah, no, it was great. Well, I just about me in third out at one point, which yeah, I was a bit embarrassed about, but we managed to keep it away from each other. But yeah, it was great fun.
All right. So looking forward now to the next round. Is that necessarily a track where you've gone well in the past, or how do you feel about going into the next race?
Where are we going next week?
Not Barcelona.
Well, Silverstone's a track that I've normally not gone very well at, so we'll see what happens next week. Hopefully, beat this again.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So before we let you go, I'd like to give a shout out to you, sponsors, friends, mates, anybody like that who's going to be watching you here on TV.
Shout out to Simfinity and 111 Esports for taking me on this week. Hopefully, we can do something with the series.
All right, fantastic. Well, you heard it here from your second place getter, Daniel Hedderscheid. Fantastic drive from tonight. Nice and solid. Brought that car home, despite having a couple of battles. Brought that car home, looking just like it rolled out of the showroom. So, him. All right, so now we have our winner, James Ruwalt, with us. And Dave, I might let you have a bit of a chat to James and see how his race went.
Yes, certainly. You got us, James?
Yes, guys, I'm here now.
Perfect, mate. Modern day lights the flag victory there, mate. You rid it up in first and finished the race P1, mate. Talk us through it.
Yeah, they've got a really good start, so that was all we wanted to flies on. Josh Dom, others having a qualifying, so get some points on top of them.
Certainly did. Then you take advantage of it. I was calling it through the race and saying that this victory's been coming, mate. You've been up there in the top 3 for most of these races. Unfortunately, a bit of bad luck in Montreal, but second place last weekend and this week. So definitely going in the right direction.
Yeah, just putting in lots of practice laps. Really, that's all I can really say about that. Yeah, just getting lucky and making sure I start well. I think that's start and then race up.
Yeah, we certainly did that, and you got yourself out a nice big gap there as well, and the car looks pristine. Yeah, as I said, what's the flag apart from your pit stops? Yeah, congratulations on your first win, mate.
Much fun putting it on today.
Yeah, no dramas. Before we let you go, anyone you want to give it?
Yeah, big shout out again to the pace syndicate. Always back, so it's good.
Have it for our first place getter tonight. Got his pole position and race win. James Ribot.
See you next week.
Thanks, mate.
All right, so that's it for another round. So never fails to impress this series so far. It's just 3 rounds. They've all been awesome. So going forward to Barcelona, which I guess when compared to Sebring and Montreal, it is a bit similar, more similar to what we see at Silverstone in terms of the actual style of the track itself. A couple of fast corners, a couple of slow corners, a couple of good overtaking spots. So I think potentially we're going to see a very similar race up there too.
Yeah, I think so. Barcelona's pretty low grip as well, so it's a tough track. It's technical. It doesn't look so, but it definitely is when you've got such a variation. You've got that big, long straight, long loaded corner, and you also got the tight chicane at the end of the lap. So it's going to test them, but yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, so well that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's action. Very much looking to what next week has in store. Until then, congratulations to James Rubot, our race winner, and indeed all the drivers who got out there tonight qualifying for Split 1 and getting out there and giving us a great show in the process. So from all of us here at SimShed Broadcasting, Dave Douglas, myself, Edward Foster, and of course our faithful director, JP Courier, thank you very much. See you next week.